the President, Deputy President, Vice Presidents here present, distinguished fellows, distinguished members, you are all welcome to the public presentation.
Sorry, good morning, everyone. My dear 90 fellows, could you please remove your gowns for now, so that we don't give the impression that we are doing two ceremonies at the same time. Thank you.
The President, this morning we're here for the public presentation of the communique of the 2014 National Engineering and Annual General Meeting. President, I seek your permission for us to take the safety let me first inform all of you, we have the exit, which was the main entrance you came in. If you hear any alarm, it's real, because we're not expecting any security drills today. And so you are expected to file through that door wide open there, and then there is a muster point there. We are all to stay there for further instruction. There is also, for the purpose of information, we have an exit at the rear, but in case of an alarm, it is not advisable to use that. It's just for the purpose of information. Now, to my right, we have the conveniences for gentlemen and then ladies. President, we sincerely appreciate you. While addressing the press, announcing the conference, you said you were also going to do a public presentation. We thank you because you honor your word. And so this morning, for the purpose of introduction, let me introduce to you the 34th President of the Nigerian Society of Engineers, Engineer Margaret Aino Oguntala. Flanked on her right is the Deputy President of the Nigerian Society of Engineers, Engineer Ali Rabiu, fellow Nigerian Society of Engineers, fellow Academy of Engineering, member Federal Republic. Let me introduce to you our vice presidents that are with us here. Engineer Joseph Adebayo. He is a fellow of the Nigerian Society of Engineers, the vice president in charge of innovation management. We have Engineer Felicia Nena Agubata, fellow Nigerian Society of Engineers. She is the vice president in charge of corporate services. Let me quickly introduce to you the chairman of the technical committee. Let me introduce to you the chairman of the conference planning committee, Engineer Mutiu Odesonya, fellow Nigerian Society of Engineers. Chairman of the technical committee, Engineer OAU Uche, fellow Nigerian Society of Engineers. I introduce to you the Executive Secretary of the Nigerian Society of Engineers, Engineer Joshua Egube, fellow Nigerian Society of Engineers. I warmly welcome those that have joined us virtually. I welcome every distinguished engineer here with us. For want of time, we will not be able to introduce everybody here, but in due course, we will get to meet ourselves and introduce ourselves when networking. We introduce immediate past President, Engineer Tasiu Gidari Wudil, fellow Nigerian Society of Engineers. We also have in our midst Executive Committee member, Engineer Moses Olumide Ogundikwe, fellow Nigerian Society of Engineers. President, we also have members of the media here. We welcome them all. And so at this point, we will respectfully request you to President of ACEN is here, Engineer Kem Salem, fellow Nigerian Society of Engineers. We recognize chairmen of divisions here, particularly Chairman Nigerian Institution of Highway and Transportation. At this point, we request President to address us.
Thank you. Let me recognize my Deputy President and my immediate predecessor. Deputy President, sir. IPP. Good morning, everyone. Like he has said, I promise that we will come back here to present the communique arising from the 2024 International Engineering Conference with theme Sustainable Engineering Solutions to Food Security and Climate Change. And here today I present the communique. The 57th International Engineering Conference Exhibition and Annual General Meeting of the Nigerian Society of Engineers, tagged Abuja 2024, was held at Abuja Chamber of Commerce and Industry, Umar Musa Yaradua Expressway, Airport Road, Abuja, from 18th to 22nd November, today being the last day of the conference. The theme of the conference was Sustainable Engineering Solutions to Food Security and Climate Change. The 5-day event comprised a variety of activities, including opening ceremony, plenary sessions, panel discussion, and technical presentations. Other activities were conferment of fellowship on 211 deserving members, group dynamics for NSC divisions and branches, students and young engineers forum. The conference was enriched with other equally important activities that enhance interaction amongst the participants. This included special events such as welfare night, cultural night, and a host of other social events. Of course, the spouses program, which is traditionally a part of our conference, was also one of the activities of that conference. All activities were well attended by engineers, researchers, academia, industrialists, national and foreign investors, policymakers, legislators, development partners, experts, and even students were also in attendance. More than 4,517 participants registered for the conference. A total number of 10 lead papers were discussed at 2 plenary sessions and 3 panel sessions, while 56 technical papers on the 10 sub-themes of the conference were presented and prizes awarded to the best poster presenters. We also had foreign delegates from the Democratic Republic of Congo, Ghana, Kenya, Liberia, and Sierra Leone. The conference was supported by strategic partners of the Nigerian Society of Engineers, such as Total Energies E&P Limited, NNPC Limited, Coleman Wires and Cables, Graham Petroserve Limited, Lee Engineering International, Rain Oil, NLNG, Shell, and so many other stakeholders. These companies, apart from being partners to the conference, also participated in the conference exhibition along with other companies and the divisions of the Nigerian Society of Engineers. Introduction. The opening ceremony was chaired by the President of the Nigerian Society of Engineers, Engineer Margaret Aino Okuntala, FNSC, who also delivered the welcome address. The chairman, Conference Planning Committee, gave the welcome address. And in attendance of significance was the President of the Federal Republic of Nigeria, His Excellency Senator Bola Ahmed Tinubu, GCFR, who was ably represented by the Honorable Minister of State Works, Honorable Bello Muhammad Goronyo Esquire. We also had in attendance the Honorable Minister for Agriculture and Food Security, Senator Abubakar Kyari, CON. Other attendees of the conference were the Speaker, House of Representatives, Right Honorable Tajuddin Abbas, who was ably represented, the Governor of Borno State, Engineer Professor Babagana Umar Zulum, FNSC, MNI, and then, of course, goodwill messages were also taken from representatives of the governors of Abia, Kaduna, Lagos, Nasarawa, and Oyo states, amongst others. There were a lot of other dignitaries at the conference, so many and so numerous that we cannot mention them all. The opening ceremony was concluded with a tour of the exhibition stands led by the representative of the President of the representative of the President of the Federal Republic of Nigeria. The foreign delegates who attended the occasion included the Ghanaian delegation led by President of Ghana Institution of Engineering, Engineer Kwabena Bempon. We had a delegation from Kenya Institution of Engineers, led by the President, Engineer Shama Kiteme. We had a delegation from Liberia Society of Engineers, led by the President, Engineer Dadlito, and so many others. Of course, we also had the President of the Sierra Leone Institution of Engineers, Engineer Oba Jones. All these dignitaries enhanced the quality and also underscored the collaboration between the Nigerian Society of Engineers and engineering institutions in Africa and beyond. The following are the observations arising from the discussions and technical presentations at the conference. Number one, interconnectedness of climate change and food security as conference highlighted the complex relationship between climate change and food security. Rising temperatures, erratic rainfall, soil degradation, and increased frequency of extreme weather events threaten agricultural productivity and food availability. As climate change disproportionately affects developing countries like Nigeria, addressing food security requires urgent, integrated, and innovative engineering solutions. Number two, advances in sustainable engineering, such as precision agriculture, smart irrigation, renewable energy integration, and climate-resilient infrastructure, are essential in adapting to climate-related challenges. It also observed, the conference also observed, that such solutions do not only enhance agricultural productivity, but also reduce the carbon footprints of food production and distribution systems. Number three, water scarcity and inadequate irrigation systems are significant constraints to sustainable agriculture in Nigeria. Out of over 84 million hectares of arable land, only about 1.6 million hectares are irrigated, leaving the rest reliant on unpredictable rainfall. Conference observed the need for advanced water management solutions, including water-efficient irrigation, rainwater harvesting, and wastewater reuse. Number 4, with substantial post-harvest losses representing about 40% of food produced in Nigeria, challenging food security, conference underscored the importance of improved storage facilities, cold chains, and transportation networks. Such infrastructure reduces food spoilage, ensures better market access, and strengthens the resilience of food supply chains. Number 5, renewable energy was identified as a critical enabler for climate-resilient food production systems, especially in rural and off-grid areas. Solar and wind energy can power irrigation, mechanized farming, and cold storage, reducing dependence on fossil fuels and contributing to sustainable food security. Number 6, effective climate change mitigation and food security solutions require collaboration across sectors. Public-private partnerships, including involvement from government, private sector, NGOs, and local communities, were recognized as critical stakeholders to scaling on sustainable engineering solutions and ensuring long-term impact. Number 7, policy frameworks that support climate-smart agriculture encourage innovation in sustainable engineering and facilitate climate finance as an essential tool. Number 8, conference noted that empowering local farmers and rural communities with knowledge, skills, and access to sustainable technologies is crucial for enhancing food security. Capacity building ensures that these communities can implement and sustain climate-resilient agricultural practices over the long term. Conference observed that oil and gas companies are among the largest sources of carbon emission, which significantly contribute to climate change, thus affecting food security and sustainable development. Number 10, conference noted that oil spills have devastating effect on farmland and ecosystem. With engineering innovation, oil companies adopt technology to prevent oil spills and minimize damages to agricultural land in the operational areas. Number 11, modern agricultural machinery has revolutionized farming practices, playing crucial roles in boosting productivity and minimizing labor-intensive farming processes. However, indigenous farm machinery is limited in quantity and variety due to lack of appropriate manufacturing capacity, materials, and equipment for mass production. Number 12, the conference observed about 70% of Nigeria's agricultural produces are from rural areas. However, poor road network hinders transportation and distribution of produce from farms to markets, causing spoilage, raising costs, and reducing accessibility to consumers. Number 13, the conference commended the President of the Federal Republic of Nigeria, His Excellency Asiwaju Bola Ahmed Tinubu, GCFR, for his pronouncement on the establishment of National Engineering and Innovation Fund, which is purposely designed to provide grants and resources to engineering and technology for engineers to working on solutions for Nigeria's unique challenges. The conference also commends His Excellency for his pledge to collaborate closely with the Nigerian Society of Engineers to solve the problems of food security and climate change. And now I go to the recommendations. The following recommendations emanated from the conference and annual general meeting of the Nigerian Society of Engineers held from 18th to 22 November 2024. And the first is this: Nigerian engineers are challenged to deploy their expertise in collaboration with relevant organizations like National Space Research and Development Agency, NASDAQ, Advanced Space Technology Application Laboratory, Nigeria Meteorological Agency, that's NIMET, National Information Technology Development Agency, NITDA, National Agricultural Land Development Agency, NALDA, National Water Resources Institute, among others, using data analytics, GIS, AI, and IoT-enabled systems to support precision agriculture for better monitoring of weather patterns, soil health, and water availability for optimal farming practices. Number 2, government and relevant stakeholders, research institutes, food processors, aggregators, exporters, amongst others, should embrace and promote innovations and technologies that enhance agricultural productivities and reduce greenhouse gas emission. Number 3, Federal Ministry of Agriculture and other relevant stakeholders should support efforts of agricultural research and development institutions on developing sustainable irrigation systems, including rainwater harvesting and efficient irrigation technology to ensure water availability for farming all year round, and to increase land under cultivation and increase crop yields in Nigeria. Number 4, government and relevant funding organizations should support various research outputs and commercialization of sustainable storage facilities and processing technologies being developed or adapted in Nigeria to minimize post-harvest losses. Number 5, government should, as a matter of urgency, promote and provide enabling environment and work in collaboration with relevant stakeholders in harnessing affordable renewable energy, solar, hydro, wind, biomass, and so on, that can revolutionize agriculture in rural farming communities. Number 6, the conference recommends that there should be synergy among stakeholders in mitigating climate change at both individual and societal levels. Also, relevant government agencies should implement recommendations on different climate change mitigation and adaptation strategies relevant to Nigeria, as contained in Intergovernmental Panel on Climate Change, the IPCC report of Conference of Parties. That's the COP. Number 7, the conference recommends that government policies should prioritize funding for research, capacity building, and incentives for adopting sustainable practices in agriculture through the Bank of Agriculture, Bank of Industry, and other funding bodies. Number 8, the Nigerian Society of Engineers, through its divisions and branches, in collaboration with relevant stakeholders, should strengthen its professional development programs and create extension services and extensive services on agricultural best practices to farmers. Number 9, conference acknowledged efforts of the oil and gas industries in mitigating the effects of climate change. However, regulatory bodies should synergize with these companies to reduce water pollution, gas flaring, and promote soil remediation to boost farming in the local communities and support livelihood. Number 10, the conference commends the efforts of oil and gas companies in development and deployment of technology to mitigate effects of oil spills in the operational environment. However, companies should work with local agricultural stakeholders to develop and deploy technologies that mitigate effects of oil spills in food production systems. Number 11, government and other stakeholders should encourage, support, and enhance capacity of indigenous agricultural machinery manufacturers and research institutes, such as the National Center for Agricultural Machinery, NCAM, National Science and Engineering Infrastructure, NASENI, Product Development Agency, PRODA, National Incubation Center, in developing mass production of agricultural machinery. Number 12, government at all levels and donor agencies should fund construction, rehabilitation, and maintenance of rural roads to ease challenges of food transportation in Nigeria. Number 13, which is the last. The conference recommends that the Nigerian Society of Engineers, Council for the Regulation of Engineering in Nigeria, and other professional bodies should ensure follow-up for effective takeoff of the National Engineering and Innovation Fund, which was announced by Mr. President himself at the opening ceremony of this conference. Thank you, distinguished ladies and gentlemen. Thank you, gentlemen of the press, for being with us from the beginning to the end of this conference. We appreciate your support and we commend your efforts.
President, we thank you profusely for the eloquent presentation of this communique. You will all agree with me. If what Engineer Archimedes said was true, then this is it. This is the eureka of food security and climate change. We have now come to the end of this session. And so I thank precisely.
Can you introduce our international delegates before we end the session?
Here, let me introduce our international delegates. I have their list here. We read their names, and then we appreciate them for coming. On the list is the president of the Ghana Institution of Engineering, Engineer Kwabena Pebon. We also have Engineer Muyoki Sharma Kiteme, President, Institution of Engineering of Kenya. Engineer Oba Jones, President, Sierra Leone Institution of Engineering. We have Engineer Dr. Kwame Boake. Don't know if he's okay. Engineer Isaac Bedu. We have Engineer Sophia A. Tijani. Engineer David Nyante. Okay. We have Engineer Dudley Toy. Engineer Waminansi Shamon. So we have come to the end of this session with that introduction. Thank you all for coming.
Thank you. We can put it. We call it publish. Yes.
Shall we all rise? Yeah, as President takes it.